Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're putting the Infinix HOT 60 Pro through its paces with a super important test, mobile gaming. We're talking battery drain, FPS stability, and overall performance for some of the biggest titles out there. Is this your next mobile gaming workhorse? Let's find out. We scored 600K on Antutu, very impressive. So next we have to set all games to 120 Hz refresh rate on system settings. And we are going to use a FPS meter on this game test for us to see the detailed performance of the game, FPS drop, stability, and phone temperature. We will use an app called FPS Monitor and SHIZUKU. So, these are games we'll test: Mobile Legends Bang Bang, Honor of Kings, PUBG Mobile, Call of Duty Mobile, Genshin Impact, and League of Legends Wild Rift. The Infinix HOT 60 Pro. It's packing a hefty 5,160 milliamp battery, and it's powered by the MediaTek Helio G200 processor. This is a mid-range gaming chip, so we're curious to see how it handles the big leagues. For each game, I'll tell you the settings I used, the estimated battery drain per hour, and most importantly, if we saw any annoying FPS drops. We're going maxed out on every single game to see what its Mali G57 MC2 GPU can really handle and tell you what is the recommended settings too. Starting with the phone killer, Genshin Impact. And yes, I'm talking all settings to highest, render resolution to max, 60 frames per second, pure madness. It looks absolutely beautiful. Seriously, on a smaller screen, the detail is stunning for about 5 to 10 minutes. After those few minutes, the Mali G57 MC2 and the whole chip hits a thermal wall. We saw the FPS crash down to 20-30 frames per second during combat with heavy stuttering. It was a slideshow. The phone got genuinely hot. This was brutal. Expect around 55% per hour. You'd be lucky to get 1.5 to 2 hours of play. Do not play like this. The Mali G57 MC2 simply isn't built for Genshin at max settings. It's a painful experience. Verdict: playable, but you'll need to drop to 30 frames per second and maybe even medium render resolution for a truly stable experience and better battery life. Expect roughly 20-30% per hour drain at 30 frames per second. Next up, the fast-paced action of Call of Duty Mobile. This game is generally well optimized. Settings used: medium graphics, targeting high FPS, which is usually 60 frames per second. Battery drain. Much better here. We're looking at about 2 to 28% per hour, giving us roughly 3.5 to 4.5 hours of intense multiplayer. FPS stability. Very good. The HOT 60 Pro handled CODM quite well. Minor drops occasionally in extremely chaotic scenes, but it mostly maintained that smooth 60 frames per second experience. Ensure the system-wide refresh rate is not locked to 144 Hz if the game only supports up to 60 Hz. Verdict: a solid performer for CODM. You can definitely get good, consistent gameplay. Alright, PUBG Mobile. We went HDR graphics, ultra frame rate, which means 40 frames per second for HDR. Visually, this is a treat. The HDR makes the colors pop and the details sharper. The Mali G57 MC2 tries its best to hold that 40 frames per second. For the most part, it's relatively stable, but you'll experience stutters and micro freezes during vehicle drives, heavy combat, or fast camera movements. It's just too much stress on the GPU to maintain that resolution. Battery drain, high at around 39–40% per hour, similar to CODM. The HOT 60 Pro managed 60 frames per second quite consistently here. Just like CODM, very intense moments might see a tiny dip, but it's generally a very smooth experience for competitive play. You'll be able to achieve 60 frames per second on setting smooth graphics, paired with extreme FPS or better frame rate shortcut setting. Battery drain will now be similar to CODM, around 2 to 28% per hour, translating to 3.5 to 4.5 hours of playtime. Verdict: looks amazing. Another strong showing. The HOT 60 Pro is well suited for PUBG Mobile. Time for some MOBA action with Mobile Legends. Bang bang. Settings used, I really pushed it here. Map quality, ultra, model quality, standard, effects quality, high frame rate, super, resolution, HD, or maxed out. For the first match or two, it's incredibly stable at that super high frame rate. After prolonged play or in very chaotic team fights, you might see occasional small dips to 70 to 80 FPS, but generally it performs exceptionally well. This game seems optimized for this level of hardware. Battery drain. With these maxed out settings, expect 20 to 30% per hour. You're looking at 3.3 to 5 hours of continuous play. Each match is about 5 to 8% battery. FPS stability. Excellent. MLBB is generally less demanding. The phone maintained the super frame rate very well. Smooth as butter. Verdict: fantastic for MLBB. You can crank up almost everything and enjoy a super smooth experience with decent battery life for a MOBA. Next, the highly demanding MOBA, Honor of Kings. And yes, we went ultra everything. FPS, resolution, HDR effects, ultimate gorge. Initial impressions. Like Genshin, it looks incredible for a few minutes. 60 to 65 frames per second on a new map feels great.
My sorcery will open the doors of wonders.
Performance reality. My test showed exactly what we expect from throttling. You hit that initial 60 to 65 frames per second, but the second a Big 5v5 team fight kicks off, the phone heats up, the FPS crashes down to 45 to 47 frames per second, then recovers as the load eases. This cycle repeats. This is the Mali G57 MC2, struggling under extreme sustained pressure. Battery drain. Very high, about 35 to 45% per hour. Only 2.2 to 3.3 hours of continuous play. Verdict: while it looks amazing, these settings are too much for consistent performance. You'll need to lower the FPS to high, 60 frames per second, and probably drop resolution and effects for a stable, competitive experience. Last but not the least, League of Legends Wild Rift. We're running Wild Rift at max graphics and 120 frames per second. The game started at 100 frames per second, but after a few seconds it drops to 90. It didn't drop to 60, but we definitely saw it dip down to 70 to 80 frames per second after a few more seconds. These dips are the cost of maxing out a mid-range phone. It's still playable, but you lose that critical 120 frames per second advantage when you need it most.
Enemy turret destroyed. On my way.
Once the phone heats up, the performance becomes inconsistent. Instead of a solid 120, we're seeing an average of maybe 49 to 59 frames per second after 8 minutes of my playing. Expect about 2 hours to 2 hours 30 minutes of non-stop Wild Rift. That's maybe 6 to 8 matches. So, how do you get the best competitive experience on the Infinix HOT 60 Pro? Drop the graphics down to high or even medium while lowering FPS to 60. This significantly reduces the GPU load, keeps the phone cooler for longer, and prevents those dramatic FPS drops in teamfights. That's the competitive sweet spot for this hardware. So, the final verdict for Wild Rift on the Infinix HOT 60 Pro, is it playable? Yes, but definitely not on max setting. Maybe try lowering to 60 frames per second in graphics for a stable gameplay. The final verdict. So, who should buy the Infinix HOT 60 Pro? This is not the phone for the hardcore gamer who plays Genshin Impact on max settings or expects a rock-solid 120 frames per second on every title. The Infinix HOT 60 Pro is the best budget premium all-rounder of 2025. It gives you a phenomenal daily experience with a flagship-level display, incredible battery life, and a sleek design that punches far above its weight class. For a competitive gamer on a budget, it offers a superb, stable 60 frames per second experience, which is more than enough to climb the ranked ladder. You are paying for the total package: great screen, great battery, and reliable performance. Overall, the Infinix HOT 60 Pro delivers a good mobile gaming experience, especially for its price point. Just know its limits for the absolute most graphically intense games. For casual to semi-hardcore gamers, it's definitely worth considering. What do you think? Did these results surprise you? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more content like this, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.